How Episcopal School of Jacksonville modernized IT and actually cut costs. Most school IT directors are having the same conversation right now. How do we do more with less? Federal education funding is under pressure. 23 states projected flat or declining general fund spending this year, according to the National Association of State Budget Officers. And in the late 2025 State of EdTech report, it was found that 61% of school districts are pulling from their general operating funds just to cover basic cybersecurity, not transformational IT, just the baseline. Against that backdrop, here is a number that stopped us. A private K 12 school in Jacksonville, Florida, actually reduced its technology budget this year, while most schools are scrambling to increase theirs. Welcome to Beyond Cyber. I'm Vanessa, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Instead of talking about a threat or a risk, we're talking about what it looks like when a school gets this right and what others IT leaders can take from it. The school is Episcopal School of Jacksonville, a college preparatory K 12 institution that funds everything through tuition and gifts. No state money, no federal grants. Every dollar they spend on technology comes out of the same bucket as a teacher's salary and building maintenance. So when their director of technology operations, Chip Morgan, says they reduce costs, it means something. Here's Chip.
We are a private school and we don't use any government funding. We fund everything internally through gifts and tuition. One of the unique things about being a school of our size is that we're not purchasing, tens of thousands of units or thousands of units. We're more in the hundreds or less. And UDT has been very helpful to us to get good pricing and feel like we're being taken care of. We've actually been able to reduce our budget pretty significantly where a lot of other places are having to increase.
That gap between being too small to buy at scale and still needing enterprise level technology is one of the most underappreciated challenges in private K 12 IT. You don't have a district procurement office negotiating volume contracts for you. You don't have a team of 5 engineers. You have a chief, a clear mission, and a budget that cannot afford surprises. So the question is, how do you build a technology strategy that's actually sustainable at a scale? And that's what this episode is about. Let's start with the foundation because everything in a modern school, attendance, curriculum, communication, classroom instruction, everything runs on the network now. It's not a nice thing to have. When connectivity goes down, school stops. And Chip is direct about it.
Reliable connectivity is of the utmost importance for schools in general across, the country. We can't have school without connectivity. That's how our classrooms are taking attendance and how many of our teachers are accessing a lot of the resources that they need to teach. So if there's not reliable connectivity, we can't have class.
That's not a hyperbole. A network outage at Episcopal isn't an inconvenience, it's a school closure. And for a tuition funded institution where technology is part of the value proposition to the families, downtime is real and it has consequences beyond just IT frustration. So when Chip decided it was time to rebuild the network, he wasn't looking for cheaper, he was looking for right.
One thing that UDT has helped us do is purchase all of our networking gear. So we've redone our network. It's actually, believe it or not, only the fourth iteration of our network at our school. And UDT helped us redo our entire network, and it's been working better than ever.
The fourth iteration, that's a school that's been through this before, that knows what a bad network refresh looks like. And this time, they build it to scale, to last, and to be managed centrally through the cloud. That last part matters more than it sounds. Cloud management means a lean IT team can have visibility across the entire environment without being physically present at every access point. For a school with a limited staff, that's not just a simple feature, it's a force multiplier. Here is where a lot of schools quietly fall apart. device lifecycle planning, or more accurately, the absence of it. During the pandemic, schools deployed devices fast. One to one programs went from pilot to mandatory overnight. And now, 3 to 5 years later, those devices are aging out all at once with no forecast, no reserve budget, and no plan. This is not a technology problem, it's a planning problem. Episcopal runs one to one programs at its lower schools. They also manage networking gear, AV equipment, Promethean panels, the full classroom technology stack. Chip doesn't have the luxury of being surprised by any of it.
We have a one-to-one program at our lower schools, and we use UDT as well to purchase all of our networking gear and a lot of our AV stuff, Promethean panels and things like that. So really, UDT has become a one-stop shop for us to purchase anything technology related.
One vendor relationship that covers the full technology stack? That sounds simple, but the operational impact is significant. No juggling 5 different procurement contracts, no price shopping across platforms for every purchase, no gaps in accountability when something doesn't show up right, and critically, because Episcopal treats technology as a selling point, not just an operational necessity, they hold themselves to a 5 year refresh cycle. That's not reactive, that's a commitment with a cost attached. So they plan for it.
Because we're a school and technology is a selling point of our school, we like to make sure we have the latest and greatest, right? So we we typically want to replace things every 5 years, and UDT has helped us forecast a lot of that, and kind of know what that cost is going to be as we refresh out old devices.
That word, forecast, is doing a lot of work in that sentence. Multi year cost forecasting turns device refresh from a budget shock into a planned line item. It means the chip can walk into a budget conversation with his leadership and say, here's what the next 3 years are going to cost, and here's why. That's a completely different conversation than we need an emergency funds because our Chromebooks died. One of the hardest things about K 12 ITs, specifically at private schools, is that the headcount ceiling is real. We're not going to hire 5 more engineers. The question is how you make the team you have genuinely effective, not just busy. The answer she found isn't about working harder. It's about eliminating the work that shouldn't need a skilled IT person to do it.
A lot of the white glove services with a lot of our device purchasing, like asset tagging and such, that has helped us save a lot of time, which keeps our team lean and allows us to save long term costs.
Asset tagging, pre-configuration, imaging, enrollment, these are things that have to happen with every device that touches the network. And they are things that if you're doing them in-house, consume days of your team's time with every refresh cycle. When a vendor handles that work before devices ever arrive on campus, your IT staff is spending time on things only they can do, managing infrastructure, supporting teachers, solving problems, planning ahead. Combined with cloud based network management, that creates an environment where a small team can actually see and control everything.
We've made our network scalable, and also made it so that we can manage everything through the cloud.
Scalable infrastructure and cloud management aren't just technical choices, they are staffing decisions. Because a school that cannot see its environment from a single pane of glass needs people on site doing the manual checks. And a school that can see is raising those same people up to think about what's next. Here's what I think Episcopal story actually demonstrates beyond this specific tech decision. It's that these schools doing this well aren't the ones with the biggest budget. They are the ones that stopped treating IT as a series of one-off purchases and started treating it as a strategy. 5 year refresh cycles instead of emergency replacements. One partner relationship instead of 5 vendors conversation. Cloud management instead of manual oversight. And the results of it, you can hear from Chip.
UDT is always giving us the opportunity to try new things and pushing us in directions that they know we are going to be able to get that extra mile out of the devices.
Getting the extra mile out of those devices, That's a useful frame for any school IT leader right now. Because the schools that will navigate the next 2 years well aren't the ones that find more budget. They are the ones that find more value in the budget they already have. If you want to hear more about CHIP and Episcopal School of Jacksonville story, the link is in the description. And if you are a K-12 IT leader navigating similar decisions, we would love to hear what's working for you right now. I am Vanessa, and thank you so much for listening to Beyond Cyber. Subscribe so you can find out more in our next episode.